All right, here we go. Spawning down in the bottom right. It is the Alpha X Protoss player in the blue. Give it up for John.
His opponent in the upper left in the red. She is from Canada and Shopify Rebellion. Give it up for Scarlett.
Oh, you mentioned Canada, and I gotta say, I want so badly for her to be able to make it through. You know, like my Canadian flag, it's wrapped around my heart right now. It's keeping me warm, but it's gonna be a tough one for her. She's got a really tough situation ahead of her.
Yeah, I mean, Zoun plays such a good PvZ. We saw that. He's so smart, doing such a good job of making sure that he knows what the Zerg is doing and reacting to it appropriately. And as much as I love Scarlett, and she had that incredible run at IEM Katowice a couple years ago, I do not put her at the same level as an on-form Rainer.
Oh, yeah, certainly not. She has been looking incredibly good, and I think she's maybe in the best form of her career, which is insane to say because she's had some ridiculously good form where, you know, she was the best creep spread player in the world, the best for a while. I think she might have actually been the best macro Zerg in the world. But since then, you know, the reason that she looks so much better is because everyone else wasn't as good. I think relatively to her old form, she is the strongest she's ever been. And I think she would probably agree with me on that. I'm not sure, but I think so.
Yeah, again, I have not seen a ton about Scarlett. She does not play in a lot of this stuff, so I'm glad you were able to talk to people that know about how things are going. Now, for this game, Berlingrad, it is, again, a bit of a shorter map. Their Queen Walk is the option, but I'm looking at both builds, actually, that, Zoun ran into, where he felt like he was well prepared for it, regardless of what happened. Now, look at this, though. It's not going to be anything like that. No Stargate play. He feels that maybe the best way to take down Scarlett in this game one is maybe a little bit more of a ground tech setup.
Yeah, and I mean, Berlingrad for a while, players have been going for this Twilight Council here. Berlingrad and Curious Minds, they feel like they can do it. Trap loves that 6-gate Glaive Adept style that is so good on this map. You know, April, May, June is a big fan of the Glaive Adept style, and it is going to be the two probes on each gas setup. So this is definitely going to be in a Glaive attack for sure.
That it is, and with Robo on the way behind this, I'm actually really curious to see how many gateways we see Sean put down. Right now it's at 2, but we have started to see him experiment a little bit with 3-gate Glaive expands, 6-gate Glaive all-ins. It's not just the build that has really defined the meta for many years, but for now, it's still only going to be 3, but okay, there's the 4th. So I guess this is just the bog standard, maybe hoping to pull the wool over Scarlett's eyes. And what I can say for the way Zergs are playing right now, it feels like they've almost leaned into the anti-air tech, maybe a little bit too much. And I've started to see these 4-gate Glaive timings get a lot more damage done in the last couple months.
Yeah, they certainly have a lot of potential. It does come down a little bit to how well the Zerg responds, how well they read the build. And to be honest, so far, there's no indication that Scarlett knows exactly what's coming, but she's got this relatively quick Roach Warren. She's seemingly in a decent spot. She hasn't gone for the double gas opener that can be so good, allows you to get 3 Ravagers very quickly. It is a lot more committed of a response, but there we go. She is going to spot this War Prism. She's got enough Zerglings to maybe delay the Warp in. I mean, she's not going to delay the Warp in, but she will force it to be a little bit further back. And Joanne Fabric's going to warp in the first 4 Adepts, bring it up to 7. As the Glaives finishes up, and it's going to be a Robotics Bay behind us.
Oh, yeah, this is the patented build. This is what got everyone excited back in GSL about a year ago when the original Glaives build started to get figured out. If you remember back in Katowice in 2020, Zest went for a build that had an immortal follow-up, and he went across and killed a lot of opponents. Zergs figured that one out, stopped doing as much. And then we saw the Alpha X Protoss here go and moved into disruptors, which hard counters the Roach Ravager idea. But for now, we're gonna have to see how much he's able to get done. That's a lot of adepts that are gonna look to shade on, and not a ton of roaches on the map just yet. But oh, the Lings, they're not going to get that surround as much as they would like.
No, and Scarlett, she doesn't lose anything at all. It's not even any real HP on any of your units. No snipes on roaches. So far, this is a great hold from Scarlett. But as I say that, we're going to see Zoun going for a little bit of harassment here in the main with this War Prism, getting just 2 adepts in there, which is, of course, enough to one-shot drones. And, 4 adepts, you could argue it's, oh, what's the point? It's extra. Of course, obviously, you can, split target fire, but that's incredibly difficult to do. And here comes the first Disruptor, War Prism speed, 3rd Nexus. Will Scarlett be able to sniff this out? She's got some great creep spread so far.
Yeah, she has so much agency on the map right now, but we got to be careful. The Adepts, it feels like it's never the 20 or the 15 or however many the Protoss player chooses to warp in that gets the damage. It's the 4 later on when the Zerg is not expecting it. And that point is when it really does feel in these setups where the damage really starts to get happening. So as the Warp Prism is on the right side, that's maybe going to be something we're looking for. Ooh, nice job there, knocking down the Observer. Part of the reason we saw the Protoss move out on the map here and try to make something happen is so he could knock down the creep spread. Like an Observer, that's not really possible anymore.
Yeah, that's a really great snipe. And something we almost never see from Zerg players is the snipe on that Observer that just kind of sits over the natural. In TVP, we see it all the time, but here in this matchup, not going to happen. And as a result, we've got Scarlett already seeing this War Prism extremely early on, getting a little bit of chip damage on it. It's got War Prism speed, so it should not go down. But it means that he can't really dive with this too effectively. He's going to drop these 2 Disruptors on out, will grab 4 drones, and is going to get out of here without taking any hull damage. Great job by the Protoss player right there.
Meanwhile, Steadfast, Adepts in the 3rd base of Scarlett. This is what you're worried about, the 2-pronged attack, but still, only getting 3 workers there. Yeah, Scarlett, she loses some workers, but for the cost of 4-gate glaives with the delayed 3rd and everything else, it's a bit of a problem. So what is Zoun doing here? He's moving into an attack. It is 2 Disruptors in the Warp Prism, a lot of Stalkers. Blink is finishing up rather soon, and the Queens, they're going to try to knock this down, but Disruptors, they're looking for a big shot. Actually, Scarlett, she's going to all in on it, and it's going to force a pickup on both. This push is dead on arrival. You need to wait a little bit longer now for the Disruptors to get their shots off, and they will not be able to do so. Scarlett, she's got all the time in the world, but Steadfast, she got supply blocked.
Oh, losing a couple Overlords right there. Very, very unfortunate for her. Now, there is Blink completed. This is an all-in from the Protoss player, but he is going to... This is very scary. Now, the Disruptors, did both of them fire their shots? Okay, one will be available momentarily. Adepts are going to shade forward, but the Banelings are trying to connect on them. Disruptor shot does get dodged. Adepts cancel their shade. Scarlett can get back over here. Hello? Oh, those roaches being sent off all the way. She actually removed them from her hotkey, it seems like. She needs those units on the front line. Ooh,
she does.
To get sniped. Nice job.
Oh,
Disruptor. Oh,
But Steadfast, yeah, she needs those army, and hopefully she'll figure it out soon, but she's also made Joe so far all in this game. 11 workers go down with that run by, and oh, the Raptors, they're gonna get on top of all of these Disruptors. Last shot going off, though. She does not have the split just yet, but this concave of the roaches, she found them out maybe when she needed to. This last Disruptor and Blink Stalkers, they're so good against this army that Scarlett has. Last Disruptor does fall. It's all now on the Warpins, though, and it feels like with that last Disruptor actually rallying on in, the Alpha X Protoss, he has enough to take this game number 1. The holds from Scarlett were so good until the very end, and a couple beefy shots. They have made the difference. There's not a lot more. Drones are getting pulled. Scarlett does not have what it takes, but the Banelings into the natural, that might equalize some things.
It will certainly do a ton of damage, but the Protoss player was already down in economy. The Disruptor shot does get dodged, and it's not the critical mass of Blink Stalkers. There is +1 on these roaches, and yeah, we're going to need to see some very good Blink Stalker micro to be able to make this happen. Maybe those Banelings might actually be enough. Scarlett, during all this, she went up to 5 bases, so she does have an incredibly good amount of larva, despite losing, well, a good number of Queens. Oh, the Disruptor, so far forward. Blink forward does cover it. And Scarlett can't punish. Disruptor shot is going to get an okay shot, and he saved it. I can't believe he saved it. Blinks a little bit kind of clunky right there. Oh, dodges the corrosive bile with one stalker, get hits with another, but I think he is just barely broken through here. Scarlett wasn't able to take down the War Prism. So insanely close, down to the wire. She's got 10 more roaches in production, but he is just broken through at this point.
Yeah, critical mass here has been hit for the Protoss player. Sure, Scarlett annihilated his economy, but unfortunately for her, just too many stalkers, and she did not have enough time to come back. There we go, GG. Zoun takes game 1.
Very well done with that push. Oh man, you feel for Scarlett right there. She had the hold. That had the hold is, it's very, very well done right up until that 4th disruptor comes in. Right up until that 4th disruptor comes in, and it just cleans her clock, allows Zoun, whatever you want to say, to break through. Well done.
Yeah, really well done. It was looking extremely dire for him. Multiple points in that game. The Adepts find no value. The first couple disruptor shots not getting a lot. Scarlett with a big concave. And even finding damage on the other side of the map multiple times, knocking out all mining at the third base, knocking out mining in the natural as well. But at the end of things, disruptors, they're too damn good. And, or actually, that's not even too damn good. We have Zoun too damn good with them. And now that means Scarlett, she's down she's down 0-3 in maps. 0-1 in this series. 2,000 atmospheres will be our second one. What do you think we see different?
Well, I think we're, I mean, it's a much bigger map. It's a much bigger map. Probably not going to see anything crazy with this. It's probably going to be double Stargate Void Ray. I think we're most likely to be seeing that. And I think Scarlett is probably going to be a little bit more comfortable because she's very, very good at dealing with that. Like, she is super on point. It's not a problem for her. It was that sharp timing that killed her, and even then she almost survived. She has confident late game. I think we're going to see a very different game in game number 2.
Yeah, I think so too. That being said, again, really great game from both players in that game number 1. 2,000 atmospheres is our second one. Steadfast, please take us away.
And here we go. Spawning up at the top right, representing Alpha X, it is Zoun in the blue.
And his opponent in the bottom left here in the red. She's down 1. Looking to get her first map in this group of death. She is the Rebellion, Scarlett.
Not just the Rebellion, but the Shopify Rebellion. They've done a lot for the StarCraft 2 scene. It's been pretty cool. Been pretty cool.
Exactly. Now hiring Hearthstone as well. They have a caster in their ranks, not just a couple awesome players.
Incredible. Love it. Yeah, everyone knows content creator Hearthstone is, of course, a really good addition to their team. They've got TLO, who's in there as, of course, the head captain, their ace player, and they've got series planner Lambo. They've got puppy player with Beyond, and content creator Hearthstone.
Yeah, and of course Hearthstone, an excellent player in his own right. I wonder, I don't know how, this is probably not going to matter at all, but Beyond was not able to bring his puppy to Katowice, so I wonder how that impacts things. Probably not at all, but minor advantages. We all know the dog buff is a thing.
It certainly is, and ever since anytime somebody kills a critter on Berlingrad, you're instantly kills one of those puppies. You're instantly rooting against them. So you're definitely right about that. Looks like the Protoss player was worried about the potential of the 20 supply third hatch, but it's not going to be a thing. Scarlett, she's not a Korean Zerg player. She's going to be going for the 30 supply third hatch, like most players.
And even then, that 20 supply third hatch has not even really been a thing in Korea and ZVP for the most part the last couple years. Seems like everyone has fallen into the 30, 28, 30 supply third base that was kind of designed in the West. But that is a quick robo there, Steadfast.
It certainly is. And Scarlett, she checks to see if the first unit is a stalker, knows the timing, and knows that it is going to go after this Overlord if it's a stalker. If not, that was a really smart little move with the Overlord, checking to see if it was a stalker or not based on the timing. And now she'll get in here, scouts the robotics facility, and she might actually be able to run, or rather fly, float out of the top right side of the base. That would be... she's going to stop moving. That would have been really nice if she had, actually. Oh, meanwhile, the Adept was actually... it picked off a drone. Wow. Wow. Nice job, but does take a lot of damage still. That's pretty good. War Prism first. Huh. Interesting.
Sorry about that, folks. EPM is now gone.
You heard it here. No APM from these players. They are both just lazy.
Yeah, it's something that you never use at all. So when you accidentally hit the button, it's like, what in the world do I need to hit to remove this from the screen? Please and thank you. But we have Sean here, Joan of Arc, Zoun, Zhao Yun, all the great military leaders of history. A Twilight Council on the way to go with this quick robo. Additional gateways, and I guess, okay, it's just going to be a glaive tech after all.
Yeah, what an interesting little transition here. I think this might have originally been maybe disruptor drop play, but we've got the Protoss player making some adjustments here on the fly in response to being scouted, and I gotta say, I think I really like it. Adepts are gonna shade forward. They will be able to grab 2 drones utilizing the War Prism. Shades forward, blinks out with the War Prism with that insanely long pickup range. Great stuff. I don't think even a single unit besides that original Adept took any damage beyond just minor shields. Oh, even gets a creep tumor.
That he will, and that is something that we've seen him be really focused on, both in the series versus Raynor and against Scarlett now. Creep spread is, as you said, it's not something we really talk about all that much in PvZ, because it feels like so often it's just the Protoss player turtling to the late game, which does not really matter. All right, creep spread is not nearly as important. You're not trying to push out early, but on these Twilight styles that we're seeing the Alpha X Protoss player go for, it matters a whole lot more. It allows you to shade into a position that you may not be expecting. And wait, I'm sorry, is this 6 gate? Oh, it's 5 gate glaive.
No, it's 6 gate. It is 6 gate.
Oh, okay, there we go.
6-1 just finished up and converted. Yeah, this is scary. This is the build that I was talking about. Different way of getting there, but this is the one that Trap has been loving. Used it to do very well in TSL 8, and we are going to see these Adepts shading on forward. Roaches were not out. Scarlett, she is being stunned by this attack. Roach is going to pop out piecemeal, and they will get picked off basically as they get out here, canceling the shade. Why not? There's no units to deal with this. Scarlett might just be dead right here.
Yeah, and now, so 13 roaches are on the way. That should be enough to clean things up. And by the way, we have Adepts in the 3rd base as well, finding value into the natural here, although the roaches look like they're handling them for the moment. Adepts at every single base. And Scarlett, this is snowballing in multiple ways. The army is going down, queens are dying, and there's no economy anymore. And of course, behind this, Zoun, he has a disruptor tech on the way. He's not going to allow Scarlett to stabilize even for 1 minute, and now all the Adepts, actually, okay, some of them are going to stay in the 3rd base for now, denying all mining. Scarlett, she's only on 45 workers after losing 17, and this is where it starts to really become a problem. Only one roach warren, or one roach, excuse me, in the main base. 19-20 workers die. And I don't know how Scarlett responds to this next level of tech.
It's going to be so difficult. She's done a great job of stabilizing after a ton of chaos in her bases, but she is going to lose more and more drones here. She is droning out of this. She knows she's got the unit count to deal with this and clean this up. But even as she drones up, more and more drones continuing to fall. Where's another warp in? That's very aggressive. Oh, but he's going to be able to get the 3rd base, and once that falls, that might force a tap out, actually.
Yeah, how often do you see a Adept skill a 3rd? Well, you're going to see it here today. And now, what, does she all in across the map? It's not like she has that many roaches, and even still, it's going to be disruptor play behind this. The perfect counter for what Scarlett, the one small semblance of an army that she has. And by the way, these Adepts, they have been trading well. It's not one of these games where it's 4-gate Glaives and the Protoss, they get the economy down, and then the Zerg says, okay, well, I have so much army here, let me go kill you. No, Zoun has been trading well, and he still has a lot of depths. He's still, yeah, he's just going to commit right here. We already have Disruptors in the Warp Prism.
We do. And it's going to be an attempted Spire play coming on in. There's no Roach speed just yet.
Oh,
Disruptor's going to get right in on top of this. Split's coming on in. Not going to be enough. We are going to see Scarlett overwhelmed in this game number 2. The Roaches are going to fall. Drone's going to get picked off in the main. Spire is scouted. Natural expansion is breached. And Zoun is going to take his first series of this group. Scarlett, she is going to try and fight it out, but I don't see any way for her to recover here.
Yeah, Zoun looking absolutely dominant in the matchup. Disruptor shots are going to get the last of these Roaches, and with that, GG. Scarlett, she falls. Zoun, the